watch real close. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady in. You can do it right, Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch real close. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Oh, we paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on tuning, hear all I say, but watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above, and if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady in. You can do it right, Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch real close. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady in. You can do it right, Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch real close. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hey guys, it's Shoshie from Shoshie's Magnificent Miniatures, and I have lovely husband Mike.
Good evening, everybody.
No, turn around. Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
There. Now, we always have an issue. You think by now he'd know.
Don't shout into the microphone.
I'm not shouting. Anyway, hello, and I want to say hi to the people who are in the chat right now. Nan Lisa 1, Steve H AMA Texas, Rizar BR, and Howdy Creative, Pixie Lou. Yay. They're all saying hi, lovely Mike.
Hello.
Yay. Welsh Avengers here too. Wow, it's late for you. It's awesome. So I, for those of you who don't know, started out painting miniatures with War Machine and Hordes. So I have,
Steve Ama Texas just subscribed.
Aw, thank you so much, Steve. Let me write you down. I really appreciate it. That's the first subscribe already. Just starting the stream. Here we go. Eva. And for those of you guys who don't know, if you happen to subscribe to me at the $24.99 level, you get a half hour of guaranteed video coaching from me. So that means that we'll set that up and I can do some one-on-one coaching for you. If you by chance want to have more time like that, you can pay me directly $24.99 instead of subscribing, and I'll give you an hour, because Twitch takes half of the $24.99. So I figure we'll make it nice for people who want to do that direct. Anyway, yeah. Not really late there. You just have to oh, that's right. You got to Canada. That's right. Okay, so yeah, that's not bad at all. Flip to the painting cam, Mike. I'm going to point out this is one of my original army.
Lower.
There you go. And you know, you can see like this is my, you know, older painting style. I mean, since it was for myself, I left some mold lines. I speed painted this. I did not speed paint this one. This is a little bit older model. I did some, this is an old pureblood model that I painted, and I really like this one a lot. Now this one is not speed painted, a little bit more careful. It's still a lot older than what I'm doing now, but I thought we would get some I have all of them here. I don't know if I'm going to get them all painted. I thought at the very least we'll get one really well painted in 2 hours, because you guys have been seeing me do my Kingdom Death, and that's taken me about 2 hours. So let's see what happens with the Skinwalker. Hey, Strokes of Chaos Minis, how are you doing? Are you coming to watch me paint some? I'm actually painting some wargaming figures tonight. So you're going to see me do some dry brushing. You're going to see me do some inking. I'm going to show you lots of techniques, because the whole point of everybody's got, like, I've had these Warpborn Skinwalkers primed since I got my army. That was probably in 2014. So it's about time. So yeah, hey Painting Cricks, yay, you caught my stream, and I'm going to be painting some stuff that you'll be able to use for your cricks too, because I do glows with sort of a cricks glow. So you'll be interested in seeing that. So let's get to it, because we got so much time, or only so much time. So I'm going to look on here. I'm going to look for the areas that are going to be the trickiest to paint. All right, is that good? I can't. You're right next to me. So I'm going to paint his skin first. The Skinwalker skin. So I am going to use, let me find a color. I think what I want to use is a gray, and I think I'm going to use either gray coat gray, or maybe a little troll blood, maybe a little mixed. I need a gray that's not, I found it, Bastion. Nope, that's the same. I think Bastion gray is going to work good, but I need to find it. Well, here is Iron Hull Gray, and that actually looks really good, so I'm going to use that. Hey Jan, how's it going? Guys, if you haven't followed Genuine Vision, give him a follow.
Speaking of followers,
yes,
Dano5157.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dano. Dano5157. 57. There we go.
Off the screen, by the way.
Oh, well, it is. I'm gonna have to move my camera. How's that?
Lower. No, move the paper lower.
I can't move the paper lower, but I can do this.
There you go. A little bit better.
There we go. All right, I've got my first color of the skin. It's Iron Hull Gray. So let's see. I'm gonna take it out of my paint pot. I'm gonna use an older brush because it doesn't This is a very old brush. And I have, so you guys will be able to see me thin out my paints a little bit more. Have a dry palette with me today. And there is about the, that's about the viscosity of the paint, maybe. Okay. Now, take my glasses off so I can see where the skin is. And we're just gonna paint in gray. And we're using...
Pixie Lou would like to know,
yeah.
For your skin techniques, do you ever use the loaded brush, 2 colors in the brush for faster highlighting?
Yes. I don't know that I call it loaded brush. That's sort of like a branding term that, you know, other painters have used. That technique has been around since like the Middle Ages. And yeah, sometimes I use it. I don't know if I think about it though when I do it. I think sometimes I'm just wet blending is basically what it is. So you will get to see all of the little, so one of the things I'm leaving shadows, because this is speed painting. I just want to cover, the skin quickly, but I want to leave the black so that some of the shines, some of the black actually, see how I just brushed it across and it left the black in the shadows. I want to do that on a lot of things here because that's going to help me with speed. You make the primer work for you. This is a fast army technique that I use. And let me know, Mike, because I'm going to be deep in concentration if people are saying anything to me. Just put at Protomaker or at Shoshie's Minis if you want to catch our attention. That's probably the best way to do it.
And Who says hello?
Hey, Stephen Who, how's it going? Alright, I'm painting his mane and all the fur gray as well.
Love it, you're leaning on your kid.
Ooh, well, I'm having trouble seeing too. There you go. You see how I'm just brushing up against? He's got some little ears over here I want to catch. And it's okay at this point if we get a little bit on the armor because the armor is going to get covered as well later. So Pixie Lou, I want to know, have you done any wet blending that uses 2 colors? Basically 2 colors on the brush with your skin. See how I leave all the dark? It's not dry brushing, we call it over brushing. We talked about it before on the show. Okay, that looks nice. I'm pretty happy with that. I just need he doesn't have a tail, so we don't need to worry about that. I'm going to get some good coverage on here. Alright. Now, we're going to work on the armor. His armor, this is a speed painting technique that I learned from Dallas Kemp. He is the head studio painter right now for Privateer Press. And I'm going to look, I think I'm gonna do for right, I've got solid gold and I also have the new color. I love this color, Deathless Metal. We're gonna use this for our base for the first part of the dry, well, it's not dry brushing, but it's definitely like over brushing. This is a, gosh, it doesn't even say anymore. It's just, I think it's a 3 or 4, but it's a big brush. But you can use any, just use any old You can use a craft brush for that kind of thing. I would just don't use a small brush because that's gonna, you know, take a lot longer. One of the things is use a brush that's big enough for the job. Deathless Metal is awesome, I know. Alright, so this is a number 1, a Winsor Newton number 1. I'm not thinning out my Deathless Metal too much. And I'm just going to, but I need to make sure not to paint put the paint too thick either. I'm going to paint all of the metal here, the Deathless Metal. I have not done this before on this particular type of model, but I've used, you guys have seen me before, I've used a dark brown metallic to start my golds. That's how I like to start them. And in this case, you don't want the black as much to show because this is going to end up with an enameled look. So you want to have coverage on the armor. And the color is going to eventually have the gold on top. Okay, and he's got armor on his knees. So, have you used Deathless Metal for your cricks? Because I think it's such a gorgeous color. I would be using it on cricks. I'll be using it on the Grimkin, of course, because that's what this was originally designed for. Definitely use it on my Circle of Oberos. I'd use it on anything that has gold on it, actually. Knee, foot, wrist, and chest. Thank you. Dillian Pilgrim gets us 5 points, Mike, for being helpful. Dylan Pilgrim. For those of guys who don't know, you get points in my channel for being helpful. And like what Dylan just did was he let me know where I'm painting my armor. And that is very much appreciated. That will help me be faster too. Hey Apollonius! What's been going on? Yeah, and if you want to check your rank, you can do !rank and you can check your points by doing !points. See how Protomaker just checked his rank? How come you're an apprentice?
I don't know.
You must have given away so many points.
No, because I still have 529.
I don't know.
And plus,
oh, you don't.
That's based off of watch time.
Ah, that's right, because you're only on Wednesdays with me. That's why.
Good theory.
Look at how pretty that is. That brown is nice. Okay, I'm having trouble reaching, but I'm just getting it as well as I can in here. A little bit of water on that, make it a little bit more viscous. You have the latest Crix battle box and you want to repaint in a new scheme. Awesome. And you just finished Eldar Avatar. Only his base is left. Awesome. I love Eldar. Eldar, that's a big one, right? The big Eldar Avatar. Paint as fast as you. Took you 12 hours. Well, that's a big one though, so. Not sure how you want to paint the face mask. I think I'm going to do it with the gold as well. We'll go ahead and make it gold. All of the armor is going to be gold. Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, it does look like a muzzle. It's an armored... You know what it reminds me of? Has anybody ever read ElfQuest? There's some wolf armor in the 4th book of ElfQuest. But this is always... That's another reason why I always liked circle. Always reminded me of ElfQuest a little bit. Yeah, Pharaoh, Deathless Metal is new within the last big rollout of stuff. I think I got these at Gen Con, and that was when they were first released. So Gen Con was in September, August, September? You remember, Mike?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Like that. Alright, making sure... Oh, we didn't have all this. Holy cats. The FW Forge. Which one? Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the Eldar? Nice. Okay, so he's got some little holes on his face plate that he breathes through, so I want to make sure not to cover those up. Alright, that's good, right? Let's make sure I don't need to clean anything up real quick. Good enough. Okay. You picked up the full Scale 75 set in the summer and have yet to open them. Oh my goodness. Pharaoh, they're so awesome. So I forgot to tell you guys, if you are new to the channel or new to since I got back from my workshop in Texas. By the way, this is my solid gold I'm getting out now. We're going to dry brush. Alright. And I'm going to get a yucky brush, an old nasty brush for this. That's a craft brush right there. That's a great brush. Look at how fuzzy the end is. Make sure there's no cat hair in it. I am now sponsored by Scale 75 US. So if you live in the US, you can get a coupon code for Scale 75's website. And it's 20% off. It's only for the first 100 people that use the code. So if you're interested in trying out some Scale 75, I recommend that you try out like one of their smaller box sets, like a flesh set. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh, it's so pretty. We're just
so pretty.
So pretty. We're just dry brushing on top of that brown. Anyway, what I was going to say was 20% off. The coupon code is Shoshie Rocks. And it's Scale 75 US. And yeah, it's very sweet. Shoshie with all caps. 20% off. And you can go to Scale 75 US. I think it's .shopify.com. Mike's got the link. He can. It should be in the notes, right? Or in the links. We're dry brushing. This is the very fast. This is the technique that Dallas taught me. You'd be amazed at how much he dry brushes. Look at how pretty that is already. It looks like it's brushed, right? Brushed gold. Oh, I love it. And on this side. You just made an order?
Commando Solo X is now following.
Oh man. Well, don't worry, because Maui Blood, we will be doing future stuff. I mean, they're going to be sponsoring me for a while, so you know, when the 20% coupon runs out, you know, we'll do something else, maybe free shipping or something else. But you know, just keep an eye on my channel so you can keep track of, you know, when promotions are and stuff. I'm sorry, I missed completely what you said. You said Commando Solo X started following?
X-Commando Solo X.
X-Commando X.
X-Commando Solo X.
X. He's nitpicking
X
me.
is on the end.
I know.
Okay.
Stop. I was just skipping a syllable. Commando. There we go. I got both X's. Thank you so much for following me, Commando. I'm just going to say Commando. Alright, so we got the gold dry brush. Now, we're going to go in. This is the enamel trick that he taught me. This is your green ink. I'm trying to remember if this is right. Yeah, this is right. So we're going to take green ink, and I have a little, this is the wavy that I got from the Everlasting Wet palette. Just going to put a couple drops of that. A couple drops of mixing medium by P3. If you don't have any mixing medium, you can use a little bit of PVA glue. It'll do pretty much the same thing. It's basically there to just break the surface tension and make everything kind of go into the crevices. Now this is a miniature series, number 1. I'm going to stir this with the end of my brush so that it's not so cloudy. Alright. Can you post an Instagram link for the avatar photos? Yes. Make sure you send the link to Proto Maker so that he can post it. Alright, so now we're gonna paint in all of the little areas that there's going. I'm gonna need some more green. Do another drop. Mix it. Yeah, that's much better. It's more pigmented that way. Okay, so Dallas Kemp taught me this. If he's watching, you are my senpai. In all of the little areas, because of the gold is behind it, it gives it sort of like an enamel look. And you can do the same thing if you play, oh my gosh, what's the name of that one? Scorn. Scorn, you can do this with red. Try to paint this as clean as you can. See how pretty that looks? You get another follower?
Was Dylan Pilgrim is not following.
Thank you so much, Dylan Pilgrim. I'm so glad. The helpful one is following me. Good, because I like to have. So we run this we run this channel like it's like a classroom, and that's why I have helpful students down here. Is because I'm not the only teacher in here, and I'm also. You guys aren't the only students. I learn from you, and the reason why I do this, I give points out to my students, is because I had a teacher once, a math teacher, and she would give us extra credit for whenever we caught her writing a mistake. And this was like an algebra class, and I hate math, like with a white hot passion. And so for her to be able to get my attention, because I needed every bit of extra credit I could get, so she got my attention because I was able to watch for her mistakes. That was something, I might not be able to get the answers right, but I could catch a mistake. So, you know, and by doing that, it taught us that, you know, teachers aren't perfect, and that, you know, we could all learn from each other. It taught us to work together to learn, and that's how I teach as well. You know, and I like to get feedback from you guys as well. Yay, hype. It looks blue. Maybe we'll take a picture of it and show you guys. Do you think it looks blue, Mike?
I think what looks blue?
The green.
No.
Okay. I hope
it looks
not.
green.
Good. Now there is a turquoise ink, so you can use that. So I want just a thin layer. I want that gold to shine through like that so that it looks like it's a little bit on the metallic end. I don't want it to be completely opaque. Okay, I'm just looking for other spots. Here we go.
technique works as good for gold with recesses? Would you larger gold area?
Yeah, watch what I'm gonna do with the, I'm gonna highlight up the gold and pop it out a little bit more even. But if you wanted to just stop right here and not even, because like I said, this is speed painting, so you don't have to, you can go as far as you want to go. This may be all you want to do with that. Look at that. That's looking really nice. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna take a little bit of silver. I gotta find it. This is cold steel. Have Quicksilver. Let's do Quicksilver. So we're gonna, ooh, that needs shaking. Yeah, so the reason why this is good for like, because it's got all these recesses, it's to give an enamel look. I'm going to take out some of this silver, and I'm going to mix it with what's left of my gold. I need to put more gold back on here. See how that gets lighter? It kind of turns to a platinum. Speaking of platinum, I might actually
Answer Mallyblood's question about the tip class you posted about.
Sorry, what was that?
Are the tips you brought back from class you posted on Facebook?
Are they
You gave.
the tips that I brought back from my class? No, they're not yet. Nope, I've just been sharing them on this channel, and that's it so far. Part of that's because, I learned it from Julio. They're his techniques that I learned. And, I want to share his stuff, but I don't want to like completely rip off of his work that he puts a lot of work into those classes. So I'm just respectful. So I'll share on this, but this way I always can quote him, and like I can, tell people that he's the one that taught me. Okay. So I'm just going back in with my green again, because there were little bits that I missed. Somebody asked me if I use BBs in my paints. I do in the scale 75. They're not BBs though, because BBs will rust your paint. They are stainless steel bearings, and you can also use glass. Just don't use anything that's not stainless steel, or some kind of protected, because it will rust your paints, and that would be very sad, especially if you spend a lot of money on scale 75. All right, now what we've got, so I tried to do the silver. It didn't work how I wanted it to. I'm gonna use my Model Air Vallejo, which is very, very, very pretty. Look at how pretty. That's like liquid silver. Yeah, let me see, Apollonius. Did he? Aw, KDM Obsessed, thank you for the host. You mean the techniques that... Let's see. I did just answer the question. Oh. Yeah, I've been sharing those techniques on my Twitch channel, not on my Facebook, because it's also just, it's easier to share them, in a way that's respectful to Julio as well. Okay. What is next? I want to highlight a little bit of his gold on some spots. So anywhere where light is going to catch, I'm going to give it a little bit of extra silver here. See that? And I might go back in with my gold actually, and where did my gold go? at this. There. Oh, I know what it needs. I was like, for some reason my gold was not getting the kind of contrast that I need. It also needs a wash. I am going to try...
Make a 6874, just tip $5.
Wow, thank you so much. That is so awesome. Make 6874. So this is Caspian Flesh Wash. This is one of their new colors. We're going to take this, hopefully, if that doesn't work, we're going to go with the brown ink or the regular Flesh Wash. Where's my brown ink? Here it is, brown ink. We'll just have a little next to it, just in case. It's a little bit more on the red end. And what we're going to do with this, we're going to use this miniature brush again. I'm going to mix, ooh, that's very red. Yes, we need to mix these two. That's more brown. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to go into the recesses of where my gold is, and I'm going to wash it over my gold to give it some contrast. I'm going to have to go back over my gold no matter what, because see that? Isn't that pretty? We're going to have to touch it up because we got green all over it. All of this needs to have that wash. And then we will dry brush it again, gently. You'll see why. Ooh, I like that. A little bit more fair looking. Plus it'll go around all the rivets and everything like that. I was trying to think of like, why isn't my highlight working? It's like because I didn't have my shadow on. It wasn't working. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to be careful. And I'm going to go back in with my gold on top. This all needs to dry, but this is already starting to dry. So I'm going to carefully now paint my gold back in. Especially in spots where the green got on top of the gold. And if it's still wet, I need to leave it alone. So kind of skip over the rivet, but leave that darkened area around the rivet. Somebody asked a question.
Nope. Or
is that solid gold? Yeah, it is solid gold, definitely. Solid gold after we did the wash of the, it's like brown ink mixed with the Caspian Flesh Wash, because it was just a little too red to use the Flesh Wash by itself. You can use Flesh Wash if that's all you have, because that Caspian is new. See, and we're cleaning all that up. Starting to look more aged, right? Now all of that underneath on his thigh, I'm not going to worry about that because it's in shadow anyway, and it's not going to get much light. And if you've looked at metal, when there's no light, it's not shiny. Wait, we didn't get any of that with the wash, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit that. And it's alright if it goes into the recesses a little bit, into the green, because it'll create a shadow on the green too. Okay, is his face mask wet? Yes, it is still wet, so we're gonna go back here. This way, I don't know if I'll need to use the silver at all now, because we got the flesh wash to get that contrast we needed. Alright, now I think we're ready. Watch this. See, you can kind of see where the natural highlights of the face are already being hit by the light. That's where you want to paint the highlights back in. See that? That looks good to me. Much better with the depth. Dylan, it's sort of based off of the studio scheme. It's like, it's sort of the new studio scheme, because I know that they're painting them a little different now, but pretty much. Do I ever use a hairdryer? Definitely. I do, but like, usually I'm just painting. Like, if I were doing this in my studio, I would set him down and I would start working on another guy. Like, I would just have many rotating. So let's see now. Let me see what this armor wash looks like. It's been a while since I've used this. Let me shake it. Armor wash has some black in it, but it's not. Yeah, we'll use it. So there are some spots on his face that I want even darker. I'm gonna put those in to give it even more depth. Kind of like dark lining. Not quite. Alright. It was a little dark, but let me try the silver again with the gold. Now if we put the silver just on the very edges of the gold, it pops out that gold even more now. Now that it's got the wash on it. There's something about the wash that it lays the, it's like it creates a filter for the ink. Rather, the ink creates a filter for the gold, sorry. And then it just causes the light to reflect differently and more intense. Gold over here. We missed from before. Alright, I would say, I think his armor is almost done. Let's go back to his fur. We're going to dry brush again, because I want to do all this fur, and then we'll go over all of his cloak and everything, all the leather. And I think I want to highlight up some of his skin as well. So I'm going to use a little troll blood highlight. A little bit shaking, needs shaking. So that's, it's about, obviously my paint already dried on my dry palette. It's the only downside. Wait. I want to make sure I'm using my iron hull gray. That's my base color. And I'm going to wet blend. Well, let's see if I can feather it first. I'm going to take that troll blood. It's thinned out. Can you see how that's thinned? And only on the highlights of the muscle. And then if I need some base color to blend that around a little bit. Sorry, I need to be painting on top of my, there we go. Yeah, that's better. That's wet blended. This is actually one of the first models you painted once you started being a stay-at-home dad, spending your free time getting better at miniature painting. I'm glad you found it. I'm glad you found it too. And I was just explaining that I have had these guys since I started painting circle, and I'm only just now getting them any paint on them. I've had them for ages. Kind of shameful how long I've been working on these, or how long I've not been working on these rather. So we're gonna just get in there, wet blend a little bit. I'm just hitting knuckles with a little highlight of that troll blood because I'm catching it. I want to catch that highlight. There we go. Okay. Now again, back with the dry brush. We're gonna use highlight. So this is what I do. I put it in my highlight, wipe most of it off. See how most of it is wiped off, and I'm gonna catch all the little. Because this fur is so textured, it's really great for dry brushing.
Lone Wolf 2K1 says hello.
Hey Lone Wolf, how's it going? We're dry brushing. We're speed painting. I just noticed all over here I got gold all over his coat. I gotta fix all that before I finish any more dry brushing. Okay, we need to go a step lighter, or so. So this is Sickly Skin, and if you have not bought this, this is a cold white. Look at it, it's kind of greenish. I'm going to just take a tiny bit on my brush, wipe most of it off. And this will bring up, we're just going to hit the tops of the fur. Try not to get too much on because we just want to catch it a little bit. There we go. Maybe a little bit more at the very top. Now he's looking wolfany. Look at his toes. Aw, Painting Cricks, thank you so much for the cheer. That's awesome. Alright, now for the leather. This is one of my favorite things to paint. Here we have bootstrap leather. This is definitely the studio scheme color. Pull some of this out onto my dry palette. I'm going to use my big brush again. Well, I don't want that big a brush. How about this one? This is a 2. This is a Winsor Newton 2. Pretty big sized. Load it up. And see how I've got paint almost all the way up to the ferrule. Need some experience advice. Anyone ever painted the low quality Hero Forge minis? Yeah, you mean the frosted ones? A friend asked you to paint his D&D character. The material is super coarse, even after priming. Now, you need to research this, but I have heard that you can kind of put that like an acetone, like fume bath, if that makes sense. You're gonna have to research it. Don't just take my word for it. By the way, do you see how I just brushed over those stitches? I'm leaving the dark area. Apparently the fumes from acetone can help clean that off, but I have never tried it and I have no experience with it, so you're gonna have to check with other people who know more. You can also try, I don't know, burnishing it maybe with a Dremel, but you know it's plastic, so you're just gonna have to. Mike, do you know anything about that?
About what?
So the Hero Forge minis are 3D printed and they're sort of like frosted, and the lower quality ones, and they're really difficult to paint because of that as well.
Sure.
So he was asking, is there any way to clean that?
I don't know. I haven't worked, so.
Yeah.
Some sort of coating might help, but not much.
Ugh, I just got brown paint all over my... Need another paper towel. Ooh. Yeah, if anybody else knows the answer to Lone Wolf's question, feel free to, you know, chime in the chat and maybe even earn some points. Because I do give points out for helping. If, you know, if Real Bug King was here, he would know for sure. He seems like an expert at like materials and stuff like that. You can also message shapeways.com. They're really good at getting back with people. They have a Facebook page, and you can just ask them like what is the best way to clean that stuff off, because I'm sure that they have forums and stuff as well. And I know Shapeways is the ones who they do make the stuff for Hero Forge. Yeah, well, I hope it helps. I usually, when I get clients who they want to send me Hero Forge, I always tell them, okay, but make sure you get the high quality because it's worth it. Worth it. Yeah, well, it's not the same company. Hero Forge, I believe, is their own company. They just use Shapeways as their printer.
Right.
So they have a middleman. But I do know that, you know, because I've worked with Shapeways, they have worked very hard to, you know, improve their miniature side. And they know that, you know, we're a big potential business for them. So I've been giving them feedback on the material quality. All right, we're getting that leather. And it's okay if it's a little rough. If you can see the black, because, you know, that is all right. We just want to get some coverage. And I think I'm going to make those sashes. Yeah, I'll make those leather as well. We'll just make it basic. Be a lot easier to paint with less colors. And I'll go back in and fix all that because I can tell that I'm overpainting on stuff. Actually, I have a local customer of mine is having me do a Hero Forge mini within the next month or so. So you guys will get to see that on my Facebook page, hopefully. Yes, I do use an airbrush, but not usually on Twitch, and that's mostly because my airbrush is up in my studio, and the compressor's big and loud.
It requires ventilation.
And it requires ventilation, and yeah, so. But, you never know. That's, you know, if I get a smaller and lighter compressor, there's a chance we could do some, maybe in the summer. It probably wouldn't be in the winter. We'd have to be able to have the windows open and stuff.
Bizarre, I don't know if I'd recommend that on a Hero Forge mini because I don't think it's the same plastic. That acetone vapor bath works with particular plastic, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, like I said, research, because I don't know. I've read that, but I don't know. It's not a bath. It's just the fumes.
It's a vapor bath.
Yeah, vapor bath. That's right.
I think it only works with ABS plastic, and that's not the. I don't think that's the kind of plastic that you're.
Yeah. Yeah, it still probably couldn't hurt to message Shapeways and ask them about cleaning techniques, because they are trying to do the same thing, and I'm sure they know of some different things. All right, so we've got his leathers almost set now. I am going to...
Yeah, actually, Hero Forge resin, so I would definitely not recommend doing the premium plastic. Probably either nothing would happen or destroy it.
Whippoorwill Games, thank you so much for the subscribe. This is 5 months in a row. Wow.
Which Jurgen is that? Selector K. Julu? That our Austrian buddy? Jurgen?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to chat.
Oh, sorry. This is Bloodstone, by the way. This is my next color on my leather. Alright, and again I'm gonna dry brush.
It is him.
Skeletor.
Selector Julu.
Selector Julu. So, do we know him?
Yes, Jurgen from Austria.
Yay.
Remember? Threw us up to milk
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
went
yeah.
to the castle ruins.
That's right. Wow, he's up late. Okay, so this is the Bloodstone. And I'm just going to hit basically the highlights of my leather on here. I want to let some of this, the color underneath it, shine through.
That sounds painful, backseat party.
Oop, big old cat hair.
Hopefully it's not too serious. I'm about to.
There's my cat hair for you guys. How's it going? Black Seat Party just started following. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Back seat
Buddy.
party with 2 Y's. Awesome. I'm getting paint all over myself tonight. I like this this Bloodstone. It's got a little bit of orange in it. And I love how it looks. It looks really good as a leather color. See that? Again, we are just dry brushing a little bit, giving it some different tones. Now, again, we want depth. So, I'm going to use a little bit of purple, piggy purple ink. Watch this. A drop of piggy purple and a drop of brown. Okay. This is one of the techniques that I learned from Julio. We get this really dark purpley brown color. And see how long this brush is? This brush has long fibers. I load up my brush and I'm going to go in here in all of these little stitching areas, and I'm dark lining all around this fur trim.
No, not painting survivors tonight.
Yep, not tonight. We're doing some hordes. Okay, so now this is kind of 2 brush blending. I'm just going to blend that down into the crevices. That's the ink. And again, same thing with this. Ah! This brush is a little bit old. See how that looks? I just love it. And then all in the shadows. And again with the two brush blending. Now I'm not going to lick my brush, which is a Privateer Press thing, just because inks don't taste good. Isn't that pretty? You need to get all of this nice and dark. Two brush. You've been trying two brush blending. It's, you know, two brush blending is so easy to me. It's just because I'm a very impatient person and I need to have my stuff, like, I really liked bead painting techniques because I need to have it done. And I think two brush blending helps me get sort of a nice look quickly. So again, two brush. Feather it out so you don't get a hard line. Also, two brush blending, it reminds me a lot of watercolor. There we go. Put a little bit of this purple in my gold, because purple and gold look so good together.
Token now following.
Awesome. Wait, oh, there it is. Thank you so much for the follow, Slokin. There we go. All right, we got to let all that dry. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use this brush back into my, this is the base color with my bloodstone, and just to clean up the highlights. More of the base color, because it's a little bit lighter actually. Clean up some areas. There we go. Now we've got to go back to this fur over here. And I'm going to look at the, I think the fur is a pretty similar color to the mane. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it that way. So we'll use the Troll Blood base again and the Iron Hull Gray. This is going to be our base, the Iron Hull Gray. You wish that your computer wasn't restarting 57 times for the Windows updates. Oh no! That's such a pain. Again, I'm overbrushing, so I'm leaving some of that. Dark, and that's okay. But I just want to make sure to cover up all the brown, because I want to basically clean that all up with that trim color. See, once it is covered, it's going to look awesome. And I think I want to make my trim lighter than the mane. So I might even go down, down to some ivory with it. Or up to some ivory, rather. And all of this over here. He's almost done, guys. We just have his weapon. And just this trim, really. Yeah, I blurped onto there, so I'm going to clean that up. We'll use this. This is the base color. Just cover that back up. Alright, now we're going to go straight to Sickly Skin. That's the cold white that I told you guys about. And I'm going to just overbrush it onto... I'm looking for the tips. I want to make sure that there's not too much paint on my brush. See? Just grabbing the tops of that fur that's on his trim. And that's for contrast because we want that to stand out from his actual mane a little bit. And over here...
Bye-bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Come watch the video on demand later. They'll be there.
Yep, we're gonna have it on. It'll also be uploaded to YouTube in a few weeks. So do you notice how I leave that back there gray because this is highlighted? So that means parts that are the lightest are the parts that are not recessed. Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't followed my YouTube channel, all of these videos eventually make it onto YouTube, but it just takes a few weeks because I'm an affiliate. I'm supposed to wait at least 24 hours, but that's one thing that I'm a little bit lazy about. I kind of wait a few more weeks. But it kind of is encouraging for people to follow my Twitch channel so they can get all the new content. Okay. That's pretty good. I like that. I'm just going to go up here. Give a little contrast to his ears so that people can see that a little bit better. I can't tell if that's metal or not. Yeah, that's okay. This is not Kingdom Death Silver Nail. This is War Machine or Hordes, actually.
Your title in the video description says.
It does?
Yep.
It shouldn't. Can you change it for me? I am so sorry. I thought I had it changed. Okay. This whole weapon, I think I'm going to make metal. Silver metal? I can't. Yeah, we'll make the axe head silver. You're out of here then? Oh no. Mean. Okay, so I'm looking. Yeah, silver is definitely the color. We're going to use pig iron for the base. And we're going to dry brush. Pig iron is such a great color. It's this really rich, deep, dark metal color. And I'm going to use my number 2. We're just going to, because I wanted it a little bit more controlled than a regular dry brush. We're just going to coat the whole thing in the pig iron. And not put the cat hair on it, which is right there.
These are actually Shoshie's miniatures that she's had for like years and has never painted them.
I have had this for this particular unit since I started playing Hordes, and I am only just now getting around to painting it because I was like, you know, I just want to paint something fun tonight that I don't have to concentrate super hard on, that I can, you know, and War Machine and Hordes, because I've painted it for so many years, it's just one of those, it's an easy mode thing for me. And I've learned a lot of speed painting techniques that I was hoping to pass on to you guys. in hopes that you would be able to take some of these techniques. You can use them on your KD. You can use them on anything, really. You can use them on your War Machine and Hordes. See that? He's so close to being done right now. One other thing. I'm going to get this brush with this is straight bloodstone. I'm going to paint all the leather straps on his wrists with it. And I want that just to be straight bloodstone because I don't want there to be, I want there to be a color difference between this and the other leathers. I don't think your Menarth army is going to sell. Oh no, are you trying to sell it? I know a lot of people who are getting... Yeah, it's not a good time to sell War Machine Hordes right now because a lot of people are transitioning. You know, they're transitioning from War Machine Hordes to various other things, Kingdom Deaths to Warhammer. That's the trouble. There's a lot of really awesome games out there right now. So... here we go. That is good. I like that. Okay. Now, lastly, on the leather, I'm going to take a little bit of Jack Bone, I think for my stitches. It's sort of a khaki color. Yeah, you never play? I haven't played in a while, but I am very sentimental, and it seems like every time I sell a War Machine Hordes army, I regret it. So I'm not selling mine. I'm just gonna finish it. I just want to get it finished. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. These are all these little stitches are what really are gonna make it look good. See, and you can paint those pretty quickly. See how the contrast makes it look nice. I like it. And that is all on that side, and then there's a couple more stitches over here. So when you played Menarth, did you like it when you did play it? I mean, was it during 2.0 that you really liked it the most? Three 3.0 has been iffy for some people. Getting all these little bits of fur back here. Okay. Now, one other thing I want to do with this khaki color, paint the little claws. And again, I think I've said this before, I'm just doing a speed painted version of this. Finished, not perfect. I just want him finished. Alright, all of his little other claws are kind of hidden. Kind of find them, but that looks good. Last thing, I'm gonna take, this is that, what is this? This is some kind of black wash right here. I'm just gonna go under here, underneath. Okay, chainmail. We're gonna get out Oh, I've got this silver over here. Is it going to come off? There we go. And I'm just going to, this is definitely going to be dry brushed. To get the little mail that he's got on his legs. And if I want, like right there, it kind of messed up, I could go back in there with a wash and get that to be a little bit more fine. All right, so I wanted to let you guys know I will not be here on Friday. I'm going to Vermont with my mom. It's my birthday this coming weekend, and I'm really excited because I've never been to Vermont. We're just going for a little vacay and some shopping and hanging out. Do some mom time. All of these are dried out. Wow, that was fast. So I won't be here on my birthday. Let's see. I want to do something with the eyes. Let's do a little bit of red. We're going to use this Kedor red base. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, I kind of like that. Right on the eyeball. That looks good. Looks kind of wicked now. You always struggle when painting fur. It looks like painted, but it doesn't look like fur. Well, try the dry brush techniques. Yeah, hair is difficult. Both hair and fur can be like that. But when it's so textured like that, I don't have any problems doing some dry brush. We're putting that green ink. It's the green ink mixed with the mixing medium down into the crevices of the sword or the axe thing he's got. And over this side too. And now, using this, do I want to do that yet? Let's try.
Max Earth 42 is now following.
Max Earth, thank you so much, Max. Welcome. 42. All right. All right, so I'm going to take some of that purple ink that I had made up, this purple ink right here. I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of green, mix it up with it, so it's like, what I'm going to do is make myself a little bit of a shadow shading stuff for the arm, for the weapon. And go in here. See how that defines that a little bit. I'll go ahead and put it on these little rivets as well. And all of this is going to have the dark purple on it. Oh, I meant to tell you guys, I watched this new show on Hulu. It's called Future Man. It's like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's put out by Seth Rogen and this other dude. And so, you know, Seth Rogen's comedy. So it's like, it's definitely for mature people only.
Adam Goldberg?
Maybe?
Like the guy who makes the Goldbergs?
Maybe.
I think it is.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, so it's kind of raunchy. It's definitely rated R. But it's hilarious. It's sort of like all the stuff that you liked about those 80s adventure sci-fi movies like Terminator and, you know, Back to the Future. It's got all that feeling to it. plus some comedy. It's just, I thought it was hilarious. Alright, so now I'm going in with the silver, and all the places where that light is hitting, it's like, get that whole surface. And again with the dry brush again up here. Is this the end? Is it the end? No.
No.
We have a
45 minutes.
Yeah, we got about 45 minutes. Decaring. We got a while. But this is almost the end of this model, though. Look at how fast I painted this in an hour. I would say that's pretty speed painted, don't you guys think? Oh, the movie? What movie? The end. I missed your question. So,
He's coming at the end of the conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, Telebadger. This is a little bit of bog moss. I'm gonna dry brush it onto this cork that I've got down here. I've got most of the paint wiped off. Boy, it looks like moss, doesn't it? Pretty cool. Need more bog moss. This is a new color as well. This comes in the Grimkin box. I really love all the new colors they've been coming out with. Okay. Put just a little bit of brown in there. Some spot. I'm not happy with that. Go back over it with the green. Yeah, that's better. Much better. Alright. I'm calling it done.
But lower.
Okay. Wait, I gotta do one more thing. One more thing to be really done. This is something I always do. A little bit of Thamar Black. And you paint your base. Always paint your base. See there? Go around the lip. This is what makes it look really done. So, one done. Do another one? Should we do? I'll let you guys pick. We can do another Skinwalker, or I can show you some other KD. I know you guys like KD. What do you want to do? Totally up to you. The problem with cork is that it always looks like cork. Yeah, no, that's why he's not gonna be done until I put a whole bunch of flock and other, crud on him and stuff. It's gonna camouflage the cork. That's what I could do. I could show you how I do that. I'll be right back. I'm going to go. All right. You're gonna see a little bit of basing. I'll show you what I've got. I have tacky glue, which I use. The big rocks you use, Apollonia, send that link to Protomaker. He'll post it for you. All right. Set that aside. And I've got my tacky glue. Like that sound. And see, this already has glue on it, so it's perfect. I'm gonna be careful not to mess up my nice edge that I just painted. Got hair on it. Adepticon sneak peek. Exactly. I'm going to be teaching a basing class at Adepticon. It's going to be way more involved than this, so you'll be... This is sort of a sneak peek, but what we're going to do at Adepticon is going to be way better. Okay. So now, this is my flock. I'm going to keep it... Let me show you what it looks like. See, look, it's just I don't know what it's called, flock, right? And I'll just put it here. And this camouflages the cork really nice. See that? And it looks like moss. That's the other reason why I like it. And the reason why you want to paint underneath it anyway is because whatever the, doesn't get covered is going to shine through. Okay, I'm teaching skin tones, and I am also teaching basing at Adepticon. Another thing I'm going to be doing that's not been announced yet is I will be having at least 1 or 2 available one-on-one coachings that you can do. Those are going to cost a little bit more, but it's a chance to just have a one-on-one painting session with me, and it's pretty much whatever you want. If that's something that you might be interested in, message me, let me know now so that I can actually reserve your spot now. I am just putting out feelers to see who's interested. If nobody's interested, I'm not going to do it. Got my brush. Alright, now also have, this is actual moss that I got. There's a store, see, look at this. It's what do you get? You get it at the floral shop, and they use it to kind of cover potted plants and stuff. And I got it for $1 at this one store in town called the Idea Store. It's basically a Goodwill for it's like a Goodwill for art supplies. It's amazing. If you ever come to Champaign-Urbana, go to the Idea Store and go to get all the good stuff. There's so much stuff you can get. There's like just a vat of corks that you can get for like 25 cents a pound. Alright, so let's take a little piece of this. I'm going to attempt to glue that on in a way that looks good. Press it down with some. Well, that's acceptable. I'm not using any premium. Actually, yes, Nick. I am actually going to be bringing that to my basing class at Adepticon. So I'm not using any here because this was already based on cork. But yes, Shirty14 sent me a huge box of beautiful premium Pacific Northwest bark. But I took that bark to the basing class and people were a little intimidated by it. So this time I'm going to break it down into manageable size, so people don't get too scared by the large sizes. Okay, did you see how I covered up the excess glue with the flock? So now it looks like it's all part of it. And last but not least, these beautiful little birch seed pods, which look like little leaves. And take a few out, and I'll put these on with tweezers. Let's see. Put them on. Stick them in a little glue. Put them in the glue. That on camera. Any extra glue is going to get covered by some flock, or we can actually cover it with more leaves too. So they look like little maple leaves. There we go. You could find some dried plants that look like alien vegetation. Absolutely. I scour the clearance aisles of Michael's and places all the time. And you wouldn't believe like all the cool basing stuff that I find. And just go outside, like especially if you live in a place like Shoshie. He lives in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's just loaded with good stuff to use for basing. I live in Illinois. We don't have a lot of trees, but we've got a lot of prairie and grasses and stuff. So, you know, the trick is just find stuff that's to scale. It's not sticking. There we go. Save weeds in, yeah, exactly. When you weed the lawn, exactly. And then if your wife has hay fever, she will love you for storing weeds in the house.
Zana Nort is now followed.
Awesome. Let me see how to spell that.
Good luck.
I know. Nort. I got it. Thank you so much for the follow. We got leaves underneath. I think that's right. Welcome. Yeah, exactly. Go outside with open eyes. And I want to say that Shoshie was one of the people who, I think we took a class from Mark Soley, and I learned about basing from him. I've also learned about basing from Michael Proctor and from Lynn Stahl. And so if you ever get a chance to take classes from them, I highly recommend. What's nice is that I've taken from all three, and so you get the best of all the worlds. There we go. I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think? Let's see if I need to put a little bit more of this stuff to cover up any last bits of glue, because any glue that's going to show is going to get shiny on you. You don't want that. All right.
Hey, what are you blowing at that?
There. Okay. What do you think? Ta-da! Lower. Let me see if I need to do anything. I'm just going to look him over. For tabletop, I'd say he's pretty much done. Maybe some dark lining in some spots. Oh my god, I almost dropped this whole thing right here. So the sign up for Adepticon classes is Saturday. So make sure that you set your alarm. If you're in Europe, it's going to be at like 2 a.m. So, and if you're in the States, it's going to be at like 8 p.m. or something like that. Okay? So set your alarms. Do whatever you need, because the classes sell out fast. If you want, yeah, Friday. Oh, is it Friday? That's right. Oh, I'm so glad you told me that. Well, Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf gets 5 points, because otherwise I'm going to be in Vermont. I'm going to have to figure out how to sign up on my phone. That'll be fun. Lone Wolf. UK1. UK1. Here we go. 5 points. You hope that you can teach at Nova. I hope so too. I mean, I'm starting to have a lot more demand for my teaching, which is really cool, but it's also like I have to kind of figure out the logistics of everything and with home life and everything. Because I have to juggle everything. What else can I do? So at this point, he's done, but you can always pimp him a little bit more. We can go in here with the purple and dark line all the edges of the inside of the metal. I like that. I wonder if I have... I don't really have a brighter gold because solid gold is the brightest gold there is. Roulette gold is more like older gold, so I'll just... I can show you guys on this one. I'll show you an example of how I used to do my metals like this. It's a little different. You can see that I use the the Crix colors. So I start with a white background. This is how I used to do the inside of my armor on all of my so it gets a white base. It's a little bit more time consuming, but it's kind of like it's the way they used to do it. So I also, if you happen to be living in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm going to be at a con called MarkCon there, and that's going to be in May. It's actually Mother's Day weekend, I just realized. So I don't know how many of you guys are going to get a pass on Mother's Day weekend to be able to go to a con, but if you happen to be in Cleveland, I will be there teaching there as well and judging a painting contest, I believe. Alright, I'm switching to this brush, and then this is the Necrotite green. It's a really vivid green. Look at that. You know, I could do it on this too, I think. Let me see. I don't hate that. That's kind of pretty. Let's finish it on this though, because this is how I used to do this. So the white base gives the Necrotite green something really bright behind it to kind of glow off of. Right? Right now, I'm going to try the Roulette gold. Needs to be shaken. And probably stirred too. Shaken and stirred. Yeah, that hasn't been mixed in a while. I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm going to be carefully painting all of the armor parts. Roulette gold. I actually like that almost a little bit. Probably because that's what I used to do for my army. All of the sides of it also need to be painted. So down in there, Paint all of the sides of the gold bits. I think that this Roulet Gold covers a little bit better. And then it looks like I need to go back in with my Necrotite and fill in some spots I missed. Man, too much water in my paint, and now here we go. This is the only bad thing about these pots, is they split if there's too much paint getting up into the lid. So that's better. See, this part didn't get the white, and look at how different that looks. A lot harder to cover. Alright, so that has to dry. You see the difference? I'm not sure. And then I take my green ink again. It has to dry, so I have to wait. What I'll do is I will go with this purple. Go over the gold with the purple. So now back with the gold. Is that the Roulet Gold? Yeah. And now we're highlighting it. Now that we've shaded with the purple. Leave all the little rivets with a little circle of the purple around it. Is that green dry? It looks like it's getting dry. All right, now
Engineer Jeff is now following.
Aw, thank you so much, Engineer Jeff. Welcome. Let me write your name down. Do we have any room? Engineer Jeff. There we go. All right, so now I've got this green. I have flock in my mouth. Ugh. And I'm going to basically edge all around the gold with this dark green ink. And in any of the... Yeah, that looks actually pretty good. That needs to dry some more. See how time consuming this one is? That's why I like the new technique. It's not as flashy. It's just different. Now, we need to use this again. Actually, a little bit of... Oh, I don't even have it with me. Usually I use some neon from Vallejo, but we'll just stick with this. And a little white. And a little bit of yellow. There we go. Anybody have any questions yet? Okay. I'm going to take this white now, and anywhere there might be a little bit extra glow, I'm going to paint that white back in there. And then also have this green on top of it, so it's sort of wet blended in. Yeah. Tiny, tiny bit of yellow. This is Cygnus yellow. It might be a little too strong. Pretty strong yellow. I'm gonna mix it. Yeah, actually that's perfect. That. Now this is not meant to look like an enamel. This is meant to look more like a glowing. It's not really, I don't know, it's not really working for me anymore, I don't think. Maybe it's been too long since I've done it. And I don't really have it down anymore. Let's go back with our solid gold. See if I can highlight up the gold a little bit better. Oh yeah, I like that. That does look good. So that's not it's not bad. It's just a different way of doing it. I think I like the faster way better. It's much easier. Look, it's more clean too. But so that way is more like how I used to do this, and it looks to me like I definitely put some more purples on the golds. All right. Well, I think we're gonna end it here. It is about 15 till, but I think we're pretty much done. If anybody has any other questions before I look for someone to raid, let me know, because we do have a little bit more time if you want to ask anything. We're going to put him, let's move all this block out of the way. Put this on the back. Nope, that's not going to work. Alright, I'm looking for someone to raid. Let's see who's on right now. Let's raid Nikki Coles. She is going to be doing a collaborative thing with me and Electric Eve next. It'll be Thanksgiving weekend. So I'm gonna do /raid Nikki Coles, and when we get there, everybody can use, you know, any emotes. If you got my emotes, use my emotes. If not, we're gonna raid her and see, because this will be the first time we've ever raided anybody with the new raid command. NIKKIKOLLS. All right, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you again Monday or possibly Wednesday. It might be a full week, so I'll talk to you then.